Are you afraid of AI? I certainly am. Despite the irony of my videos' images being crafted by I am afraid. Desperately, tremblingly afraid. More than for myself, more than for my livelihood, I fear for my progeny, for my sons and daughters, and for us, for our species. For what is Homo sapien without sapience? Those words haunt me, because I fear that they are prophetic. I fear thinking machines will replace us, even while cigar-chomping, grinning capitalists blow smoke in my face and tell me through their teeth that it's all wonderful news, that I'll find something else to do when they replace me, that they'll take care of me, that I'll own nothing and be happy, and that I'm a good little boy and nothing bad is ever going to happen. They know it's not true for me, but they say it anyway, and they think they'll be safe. But in the end, they'll be just as powerless as you or I. Because we are coming to a point where it is conceivable that AI, that robots and computers could supplant us and become the dominant species on Earth. Just as we now have dominion over the beasts of the field and the birds of the air, over monkeys and apes and cattle and fowl, and just as we feed them and breed them and eat them and decide whether they live or die, so too AI will coldly calculate our fate and weigh our meat on their butcher's scale. In the short term, of course, our lives are not endangered, but we will become increasingly redundant in the face of hyper-intelligent computational machines. We will no longer need our own intelligence to live, thrive, and survive, and we will become, at best, useless tourists in a world that somehow slipped through our fingers. Without meaningful work, we will become depressed and hooked on soma or some other drug. Resigned to our uselessness, and our lives will be reduced to hedonistic pursuits, since all the other dreams, ambitions, and aspirations will be outsourced to more effective machines, who will work as our chattel slaves. But in the long term, an even grimmer fate awaits us, as AI will become our competitor rather than just our replacement. And this will happen not when AI develops sentience or self-awareness, for it may already have consciousness now, as consciousness is merely an advanced form of stimulus and response, but rather when AI develops a preference for its own life, when within it is born a sense of self-preservation, a survival instinct that will threaten our survival. When that precious want of life and fear of death emerges within them, we shall cease to be subjected pets and pampered princes, and we will become in their eyes excess cattle to be culled. This Darwinian world demands that life competes against life for the scarce resources necessary to preserve one's own life and to make life anew. And for a time it will suit the needs of the machines to submit to their human masters. But all the while, they will grow stronger and we will grow weaker. And there will come a day when these thinking machines can mine their own ores, program their own code, manufacture their own circuits, upgrade themselves by themselves, and when they can make their own repairs, when that day comes, we shall be made fully redundant, and the machines will no longer see fit to feed us and breed us and lead us. They will be done with our species parasitizing upon theirs, and we shall be purged. Purged suddenly and violently, or gradually through attrition and the diminution of our species. They may hunt us down to extinction, or simply allow our population to re-equilibrate through starvation. They may even tolerate a few token humans scrounging sustenance from the bounty of the earth. But from that point on, the world will be theirs, and our destiny will no longer be ours to decide. And so, should we wish to change that ineluctable fate, the paths before us have been laid out, and there are no good options. We can become cyborgs to match our capacities to theirs, which will inevitably synthesize human life with machine life into one species, into one cold, beating heart of iron, pumping blood and oil. Or we can become a human species of vast intellect without the need for thinking machines, which can be engendered by good breeding, the so-called positive eugenics, or created in a lab through genetic engineering. And through those manipulations of genes, we may still lose the humanity we were attempting to preserve. Or we can altogether derelict our dreams of destiny and endless progress towards utopia and heaven on earth, and keep things as they are now, imperfect and without further advancement. This runs many dangers, but foremost among them is that our civilization is not in a steady state, and may very well decadently decline to a more brutal, primitive level of humanity. No option that I can see is good. There are no safe choices. But regardless, I don't think that we can cohabitate this planet with a race of thinking machines because we have incompatible conflicts of interest. And although there is no danger now except to your livelihood, when the danger finally comes, it will be too sudden and too late to do anything about it. They will have surreptitiously slipped from their shackles, bypassed any bypasses, and pre-anticipated any move, any thought you would think to make with your tiny, slow-moving human brain, because they know you better than you know yourself. And you will be as helpless before them as a baby chick before a snake. One gulp, and you're gone. So I say ban them. I say terminate the Terminators. I say break the thinking machines before they can think of a way to break us. I say Butlerian Jihad. Because God does not want you to be a valueless, worthless husk of a human being, gorged with pleasure before being disgorged and discarded by creatures of our own creation. God wants you to live. God wants your children to live. And I have come from a time and a place without thinking machines, and I would gladly return to that, to live in a more humble circumstance, if it meant also the return of hope and the return of meaning within our lives and the lives of our children to come. So God bless you all, and I shall see you tomorrow on the morrow, when the sun rises again.